Hello folks, over here having a great day today. Hey, today we're going to take a look at doing the next chapter in my Random Gatherer Challenge. Now basically what I do is I really like to be inspired to do something a little bit outside the beaten path, do something unusual, and so forth. And so what I'm going to be doing today for you is basically I'm going to be taking the next addition into my Random Commander Challenge. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to head on over here to Gatherer because, in today's day and age, people don't believe what they're told sometimes without seeing evidence. And even though I have never lied to you, I believe it's always wrong for somebody who's writing to lie to their audience. It's wrong to deceive them. I have never done that. But still, nevertheless, a lot of folks are always going to ask the question, hey, did you really get that random card? And so forth. So we're going to be doing that and doing the 9th edition with this. I'm going to record it for you here. Now, I do not have the time in my life to sit here and record like 15 or 20 videos and then take the best one. I would just, if I had somebody that I wanted to do, I'd just do it and I would save this challenge for the next one. Right, I would not do it. That's fine. I would just move right on. So I have two rules for my Gatherer random stuff and builds. The first is that it has to be an actual and proper commander. And by that, that's legal in commander. So not something like a planeswalker for Brawl. It can't be something like something that's a silver border or band or something like that. And then it also cannot be something that I've just recently used. So for example, if you like Greven, of the new Greven from Commander 2019, well, I just built him last week, so I'm obviously not going to be building another version of it. So if I just happen to randomly hit him, then I'm just going to pass that over. And that's also going to be true for anybody else that I've already done for you. And I've done a lot of commanders, but there's still so many more out there. So let's get started. I'm going to get started with a search function because there's not a random button on the open page on Gatherer. So here what you can see is here's the random button over here in this corner that I just linked up to. Now, when you hit this random card button, you will in fact get a random card. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, now my first choice is a Blink Moth Urn, as you can see here. Obviously, Blink Moth Urn, not something that's eligible. So I'm going to keep going. It's not a bad card for your artifact fun times. But again, I'm just going to hit the random card, keep going. So let's keep this wagon train moving. All right, now here's Scion of the Wild. Also not an eligible commander. And next up we get Runed Servitor. Now please note that Runed Servitor, like a lot of other cards that you're going to start seeing, actually has been printed a number of times. And that's because the more times it's been printed, the more likely you are to get it with Gatherer. Just so you know, in case you're ever doing like random Gatherer cards or something like that, there is a bias because each iteration that was printed is going to have another opportunity for it to come up randomly. So it's not a true random card, just as an FYI. But Summer Bloom, also not eligible because it's like a spell. Okay, let's take a look at the next one. The next one is Sprouting Thrynax, also not eligible, at least it's a creature, but still not eligible as a commander. So let's keep hitting that random card function. Okay, here is Psychotrope Thallid from Planar Chaos. It's a fun card. Sacrificing saplings to draw cards would be a great fun time on the Legendary Express if it were in fact a legendary creature, but in fact it's not. It's just a regular creature, so it's not eligible to leave my commander back, nor my random commander name. Now here is a very old school looking, very pretty looking Psionic Blast. Man, look at that little thing over there. Also not a legal commander though, so we'll just keep on going because spells are not commanders. All right, the next one is Intangible Virtue. Obviously a fun card, but not anywhere near eligible. Rally the Ancestors, obviously not a bad card either, but also a bad choice because you can't run it. Ancient Tomb, very common card, especially in Modern Commander, but it's not ineligible. Now here's my first legendary card, and it's Umezawa's Jit. Now it's a legendary artifact, and it's not eligible, but at least hey, we're kind of getting into the central kind of theme, looking for some legendary stuff. Zombie Scavengers from way back in Weatherlight, also not eligible, but not a bad card, and so forth. All right, now my next card is going to be Obsidian Battle Axe, and guess what? That's not a legendary option. I cannot run that either. Okay, here we go. Evernight Shade, also not a option. You can see the Undying Shade and so forth. Not a bad card because it's a shade that'll come back. Okay, here's Alabaster Dragon. And you might think from the name Alabaster Dragon that it may wind up being one of these fun little cards, but guess what? Of course it's not. Sorry folks, Alabaster Dragon is also not eligible to run my deck. So let's hit that random card function. Let's just keep on digging. Casting of Bones, are you eligible? Nope. Keep on digging. I think we're probably about 20 cards in now or so. And this is not a common. Sometimes you'll just dig this deep. Dreadship Reef, not an eligible option. So we're just going to keep on going. Neither is Ghost Form either. Swing and miss. Swing and a miss. All right, here we go. Next up is Trumpeting Armadon. Trumpeting Armadon, of course, is also not an eligible option. So we're just going to keep on going. Thunderfoot Baloth also not an option. Although we're getting a lot of green cards recently, which are fun cards, like the Lieutenant aspect of that one. Mountain, obviously, not an option. That's going to happen. You're going to get basic lands a few times in here. Oh, and right there. Basic lands, back to back. Get used to that. It's going to happen a lot here, Gather. Redwood Treefolk is also not eligible. Wild Pear is a great card. Love it. But also not eligible. I do think Wild Pear is probably an underplayed card. It's definitely a stronger keeper. But Keeper of the Light also not eligible too. It's just a 2-mana dork. Stone Golem also not an option. The Stone Golem is the one from the core set 2020, which is just now getting printed as a common in the most recent legal thing. Also, Bone Splitters from also core set 2020, although there's many other versions of it out there too. Also not a random card. Now, if I told you that I got 2 M20 cards back to back that have been previously, again, if you didn't see it there, you would have been like, whoa, of course you didn't do that. But again, it happens. That's as you do a random thing, the longer you go out, the more weird coincidences happen that actually aren't coincidences at all. Here's Polluted Mire. It's a cycling card. It's also not allowed. Goblin Goon, not a legendary creature. Sorry, Goblin Goon fans. I don't know if there are Goblin Goon fans out there, or Idyllic Wraith fans. Man, I remember running Idyllic Wraith during the time, because it has Swamp Walk, and it's got that fun little Spectre ability and so forth. It's one of the fun ones that aren't Spectres, that still do kind of a Spectre ability. All right, here's Wall of Souls, one of the classic walls from the Stronghold set. That release wanted to put given strength on the walls, so all 5 colors got Wall of Blossoms, and some other strong walls too. And it was in that cycle. Next up is Sultari Lancer, a Shadow First Strike attacker. Also, guess what? Not eligible. Neither is Welcome Turn. And neither is Awaken the Barrel. Awaken the Barrel, this is a cool card. I mean, come on now. Awaken your inner bear, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Blinding Light, also not eligible. Fun, but not eligible. Knight of the Relic Quarterly, also not eligible. Fun card. In fact, I will be talking about this card this week in my top 10 list. My top 10 list is about Knights. I've already submitted it, and so it's really funny that I'm getting this, because guess what? Knight of the Relic Quarterly is almost assuredly going to be hitting somewhere on my chart for top 10 Knights of all time. In preparation for Throne of Eldraine. All right, next up is Consuming Ferocity, and it's going to take a while for it to load, as you can see. Sorry, computer. And sorry, people who are wanting to see what Consuming Ferocity looks like. There you are. It's a janky card from Mirage, and it's definitely not going to be leading your commander deck anytime soon. Neither is Swamp, neither is Angel of the Godfair. It's not a legendary creature. Nor will it work in this sort of a context, and that obviously is a Silver Border card, so we're just going to skip that. Trinisphere, obviously also not eligible. Nor is Blood Ogre. I think there are probably about 50 cards in now if I just had to guess. Forest, Empty the War. I mean, when I normally do them, I'll actually count them and so forth, but here I think you'd be going 52, Empty the War, 53. Niv Mizzet the Firemind. Now, Niv Mizzet the Firemind is a legal one. Now, I have built commander decks around several Niv Mizzets. Here's the thing. I'm not sure if I actually have done one around him or not. I have done them around several of the other ones, though. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pause, because I know I've done several of these, and I'm actually going to hit the pause button on the rewind thing. And if I've done one around him, then I won't do it, and I'll come back to this. Otherwise, we'll be doing Niv Mizzet.